Well, hello and welcome, everyone. We're in week 8 of Rise Higher, Break Free, and Live Unstoppable. We've been talking about personal growth topics and things that may encourage you on your journey as your journey as a professional or an entrepreneur may be just to make an impact in the world, to build a career that not only meets your goal for others, but financially blesses you so that you can live doing the things you love, yet building a life. So, I am your host, Mary Haswood Fernandez, and I have had the pleasure of creating and sharing with you this 8-week series. My goal has been to grow live, to master new skills, to do those uncomfortable things that we've never done as a professional, all while actually producing and live streaming this event. So I want to welcome you and thank you for those who have been following it, downloading it, and just growing from it. Our goal as business people is to add value to those who take the time to listen to our podcasts or partake of our services. And so this last session, as you see, is called Vision Casting, Designing the Life You Want. And I put a bold title up there, Now Activate Your Vision, Your Goal, and Your Plan. So this one is going to be very special to me because I want you to know that you don't have to what is it I'm trying to say? Be perfect. You don't have to know everything to do or at least start on your journey. And the fears and the knockdowns and the things we've gone through on this journey of business building, dream seeking, sometimes it's cost us time learning the hard way. It costs us time in growing our confidence and believing in ourselves and acting on the dream. It cost us sometimes friends and family who look at you differently, like, are you ever going to hit that goal? Are you ever going to stop seeking that dream? Are you ever going to XYZ? And then you hear many say, well, should I stop pursuing entrepreneurship, shut down the doors of my business, and go get a real job? Those are the pressures. But do you know the world is running with the what it with the blood of the small business. That small business has a high impact in the world, and you do make a difference. So what I wanted to share with you today in this short period that we have to close out vision casting and designing your life, I wanted to share with you some of the pain points that I have heard from clients. And yet, no matter what level of business is at, there's a pain point or a hurdle some want to come over, jump over or overcome. So, for those who do not know me, I'm Mary Hasworth Fernandez, business and personal development strategist. I've been in business since 2002. So I'll share first with you that beginning. I was an electronic technician. I was an electronic technician, up and coming, go to work in engineering. And I had, for many years as a young woman, worked in the community following the leaders of my community, the leaders of my city, the leaders in my church. So that's what I did in my spare time, along with raising my children. And my awesome sister was a businesswoman, and I was seeking to put my volunteerism in the right format so that I would be eligible for all the great benefits that are afforded to small businesses. But for years, I didn't understand all this professional training and the languaging that my awesome mentor and sister was using. But I followed her lead and I did some of the basics. And when I did some of the basics, those today have really elevated my um, presence in the business world. So we did all the setup in 2002. We set our business up. I was still a student in service, public service of helping and volunteer non-paid positions, but I was working, and then I had a direct sales company that I started because I was dreaming of someday being a stay-at-home mom with my Navy husband and being there for my children as they grew up. That dream came true, not only with my direct sales, but also with the foundation I had with my 9 to 5, which was that engineering goal position. I did get into engineering and I did have a nice job, salaried, and there were some other things I never learned that could have blessed me even more, and some horrible experiences I had, like many young people when they're out there working in the career world. So many things that can happen to you or be said to you, and you really not know how to stand up or defend it or even say, this is wrong, this does not seem right. But even then, I see it happening over and over and over again in the careers of young people as they step out into the world. Sometimes it crushes their spirit. Sometimes it derails their passion and belief in themselves, and other times it toughens them up because after they get up, realize this ain't over, and they go at their life with the same zeal. But as we continue to get up every time we knock down, it's time that has passed. It's situations that have passed. It's great people in your life that may no longer be in your life and great encouragers. So the road gets a little, what seemingly rough, tough, and lonely. So just a tad of my business started in 2002. I watched people get millions to rebuild communities. I watched small communities make great impact. I loved the fact that in the area we lived, the leaders would come to the small communities, visit and listen to their concerns. Things have changed quite a lot because of value systems. There are almost no personal barriers or boundaries that used to be boundaries of kindness, politeness, genuine consideration. So ignorance is not bliss because you may be that backup singer or that support person not in the spotlight serving so many big and great organizations, and your talent and your skill is being seen but not really appreciated. I've had some of my people and clients and potential clients along the way tell me about some of the things that they experienced. One was for sure being the person who is full of ideas, full of get it done, full of leadership, but then next thing you know, they run into a ceiling and they see the ceiling and they see the limitations and they see the it's almost like your wings are clipped where you can't really show off what you can do to support the success of your company. Um, and so many choose to leave and do their own thing. But now that they're out there doing their own thing, sometimes they feel alone. Alone in what do I do? How do I do? Where do I go? What do I? So I want to let you know as we move through this short time together that as a business strategist in the volunteer world, I always made sure I was giving back to the world while God was blessing me. But as a business person, oh my goodness, if someone had just told me some of the things then that I know now, how much further would I have been? But I think everything happens in its own time. I believe everything happens in its own time and that you are in the right place at the right time. It doesn't matter about age, how old you are, because you can see a lot of young people are making the connections to their dreams, and a lot of people are going around the long way, but it doesn't matter. When you get there, that was the time you were supposed to get there. So, no regrets. Just stay strong and keep it moving. Now, how many of my coaches are that are listening, entrepreneurs, service providers, how many have had a paid speaking opportunity? A paid speaking opportunity. Many of you have, and many of you have gotten love gifts or gifts to thank you for speaking. But you want to build your resume with paid speaking opportunities if that's one of your services that you offer. So later on, before we finish this video, I'm going to show you a project I developed where I am looking for 6 speakers and they are paid positions. Why don't I create that? Because as I mentor and I coach, when people are talking to a coach, I mean, every moment you have with them is golden. I have had coaches of um, different segments of growth in my life. And what I've learned from them is we can get a lot of great training, but you need some specifics and you need some personal direction. You need one-on-one to help you pivot and navigate the road that you're on to get the end game that you have. When I was doing some of my project developments with my community, I realized I had been doing. Now, don't laugh at me. This is not funny, and it's not painful anymore. But I was developing a free program I had been doing for maybe 9 years. But see, it wasn't wasted because not only was I blessing the students that were in that program that I created and got an award for, along with some major organizations who had done the same service, I was in an elite group of awarded individuals for providing these services for free for individuals. That's called giving in my heart. But as time went on and COVID hit, I found out that a person directly across the street and even in the same facility was being paid 4 figures. Is it four? Yeah, 4 figures for each event they did. Now, is that ignorance is not bliss? The hindsight is 2020. So not that I knew that, but I was shocked. But then I stumbled on the information I needed to position my business, position myself, package my gifts and talents in order to operate in a whole different world that businesses can. So, do you know the things you need to know to achieve the vision that you have cast? To design the end game of what you want. So when I create things, I listen to the client. I almost can see their heart and their sincerity and hear the things they're saying and not saying and create a plan. All you have to do is keep feeding me pieces of information. So back to the point I was making, when you have that valuable time with a coach, I mean, they can pour out some wisdom, some tips, some tools, some systems, some strategies that can bless you. Now, the reaction to that when when you're doing that is sometimes a person will say, "Well, I don't trust hardly anybody in the world, but this person gave me a ton of tips and wisdom and how-tos that I won't do that with them, but I will go try to do it myself." But there's other bumps, knocks, and detours and time and delays that can happen from not trusting people to work with people. They're pouring you out information that can bless you and that does bless you. I never had all the experiences that some of you have gone through, and some of you have gone through some pretty stinging moments in your life, not even knowing why in business and life and in personal. And I had the pleasure of having a young adult who was one of my mentees for many, many years. And as a mentee, that individual later on in life turned around and wrapped my heart around whatever was going on. But she just dug into my life, picked me up, and said, You you deserve some nurturing. You deserve some love and support. You deserve XYZ and XYZ and XYZ. And she went on and on and on. And next thing you know, she had strengthened me and ministered to my heart in such a way that leaders don't get. And that's another reason why I do what I do. Leaders have a different type of conversation, different kind of wounds and bruises and knockdowns. And I know sometimes I can be talking, and when I lose a thought, I just keep going because I go into the next thought because I have so many. But in my volunteer years, take one of these. I learned that I was delegating new members, different assignments, creating documents and strategies. And one went to one of my major sponsors, presented the document as if that person themselves created it and they were the head of the project. And so, as things were not moving as fast enough, I made that individual came to the meeting, and then next thing I know, it was time to do something, and I went to his office, and he said, who created this? Who's in charge? Who's the?" And he found out it was me, and not the person that I delegated. And I was just flabbergasted, but the project was moving forward. I had so many moving pieces. I could not fret over that. There was no one who would understand my disappointment and frustration, but I had to keep moving so we could serve the people that we were preparing for. Did the people that did that dishonest, or I guess, how would you call it? It was just unethical. That thing, acknowledge it or affirm it. No, they took the stage and did what they had to do, and I did what I had to do, and I just did not want to work with them anymore because I did not trust them. So those are the things that happen as side effects of bad experiences. But does that take you out of the quest for your dream? Does that take you out of the race for living that vision that you're casting? Because you must have a vision, and the people without a vision, as I have heard, they do perish that dream, and you become something else and someone else. But then let's continue on with points of how to step up and get ready for your next level, for actually really casting that dream and not ducking and avoiding it because of painful past experiences. I had the pleasure of being at another meeting, because sitting at tables is very important to know what's going on in the world around you, and those who lead you and those who serve you, and you being there for the people you serve. So I had the pleasure of a politician of all people explaining that a junior senator can present a great idea and a great package and a great bill or proposal. But a senator, I think, is the one who presents it, gets their name all over it, and that is just how it goes. Now, you tell me if I'm correct or not, but that lesson was the younger senator said, as long as it got done, that was my mission. Because in certain worlds, there are some rules, and in certain worlds, there's some boundaries, and some worlds, the rules override the boundaries. So, what are you going to do now? We're getting ready to start on the last quarter of this current season. And in this last quarter, I have positioned something that I want to share with you and hope that you uh, can relate to it. And I am looking to work specifically with some individuals who may want to take this journey with me. And I did this so that I can empower and launch leaders. Very often I hear people say, well, sometimes you'll purchase from the same person maybe 8 times when they offer services that you can use. I want to see you get what you need either in the free rooms that I offer, the paid rooms that I offer, or the one-on-one or my signature programs. I want you to be able to get what you need and you launch and spread those wings and fly. And if you need me, some of those packages keep me on hold, on retainer for you, available to you. And that's why it is so important to be able to share things with you that end screen. No, I'm getting ready to share something with you. Choose what to share. Okay. So that's not working. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I am launching 3 programs, and I will put them on the back end of the video so that you can see them. I am launching 3 things that is really a part of a big picture like this. It seems like this is separate and that is separate, but this may be all you need, or this may be all someone else needs, but this may be what someone else needs. So the foundation all leads to one thing that makes sense to me. That is not a complicated blueprint or roadmap or strategy. It is a big vision to elevate those that do connect with me on this journey and to launch those who need just a little help. I know I said something a minute ago about working with people, partnering with people. I heard this saying that many of us may have to adopt because your time is valuable, your talents are valuable, and what you do for one may not be needed for doing for the other ones. That's why programs are customized. Customized. So let's go. Program number one. The vision visionary the speaker visionary voices for the podcast. Visionary Voices from Leadership Legacies and Legends, the podcast that I'm so grateful for, is a platform for everyday heroes, everyday sheroes as a standard. From time to time, we do things to showcase others, to elevate and support them and give them visibility. Visibility is key. All right. That program allows you to come in free and enjoy sharing with the world what you do. The second part allows you to come in, take advantage of my marketing packages, a major visibility package where when you participate, I'm in the back doing all the work. It only takes about maybe an hour of your time in the back office getting the the meat and potatoes of your podcast done. But after that, it's me and my team out preparing to market you in an evergreen platform. When you do that, there's an opportunity I have over in my VIP speakers room, which is the second thing. In the VIP speakers room, that's an opportunity for you to have a match paid opportunity to speak. I want to make sure you are paid because you are a professional. The third one elevates it, and that gives you the opportunity to get a bigger, better, more supportive business development package, marketing package. And like I said with coaches, when you get the time with the coach, almost every idea and tip they pull out is something that can bless your business, accelerate your business, and take you to the next level. So don't be afraid of paying coaches, speakers, and those who serve because their objective is to move you, your staff, your team forward. And if they can help you hit your first million, or launch your $500,000 business or get your $20,000 salary. If what they offer can do that for you, why not take the time and find a way to get on board with a mentor or a coach or a program that's not going to last forever and gives you visibility. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure presenting to you this 8-week series called Rise Higher, Break Free, and Live Unstoppable. Now we're going forward with 3 special programs, the Visibility Podcast, which can all 3 for one. I mean, it's just a way for you to take advantage of a steal of a deal to be a paid speaker and to take advantage of sharing and supporting women going through menopause. Why did I do that? Because people forget that I don't care how uh, top and successful we are, what executive position we hold. I was talking with a top executive and another top executive, and I consider myself an executive. And we were rolling out, laughing, talking about menopause. So that is the comfort that's going to bring us together. But the VIP is going to feed us. It's going to feed us something we may need. God bless you. This has been Mary Hasworth Fernandez, your host of Leadership Legacies and Legends, bringing to you free an 8-week series to edify your spirit, to encourage your heart, and to see you successful as you choose to be. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget to follow the links and jump in where you fit in.